loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. My name is Day, and if you like videos like this one, go ahead, subscribe, join the lovely family. And for those of you who have been here, thank you guys so much for coming back to see me. I'm gonna be doing my makeup because I don't know, I just feel like it. You know, we're stuck in the house, so I feel like sometimes I need to get myself together just to answer like a few quick questions about me. I am 26 years old. I have two children, as you know. They are now 1 and 3. And my husband and I have been married now for 4 years. My husband and I got married when I was 22. And I know for a lot of people that seems like a very young age. And now that I'm 26, I'm like, what in the world were we thinking? So we met in college. We have two different stories about how we met, but this is my version. I met him in history class, and he was the type of person who he did not show up to class on the first like couple of days. Like he would be like around campus doing his own thing, going to like events and stuff, and not going to class. Me, I was the type of person that the first day I was there ready with my book, my syllabus, like I was on it. So the first day of class, I chose my seat. As you know, most people do the first day. You choose where you want to sit and you sit there for the rest of the semester. And then one day I come into class and somebody's sitting in my seat, right? It's him. And I thought it was really awkward because, okay, like I've been sitting here, this is my seat, it's established. So I ended up skipping a seat and sitting like next to him, like one seat over. In my mind, I was like, man, this guy took my seat, so I'm just, I'm gonna just sit in the same area. But in his mind, I guess he felt like I thought that he was like attractive, and that's why I sat by him. Wasn't the case at all. So when we were learning about things in class, he would be like not paying attention, like on his phone, just very like, and I was the type of person, like I take education very seriously. So when I saw him acting like that, I was like, he must not plan on passing this class. Like, yeah, I was like, this guy's a real slacker. Even though he wasn't like paying attention in class, every time we would take a test, he would get an A on it. And I was struggling in that class, like struggling. So I'm like, all right, something's up. Eventually, we became like cool. I realized like he was, a history major, blah, blah, blah. And it was very like strictly platonic. Like we were not even interested in each other. We became like really close as the semester went on. And then after the semester was over, Aaron like went ghost. Like I had not heard from him. I had not seen him. This is like after class was up. And he was like really like, wow. I didn't really think too much of it. I was like, wow, dang, what happened to Aaron? I would just see him in passing. And I'd be like, is that Aaron? Aaron would be so shady looking. He would be like, yeah, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna hit you up. And I'd be like, okay, I mean, whatever. You can call me if you want to, but if you don't want to, that's fine. Just, hey. And he would always say like, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you. Never hear from the dude, like ever. And I was like, all right, like this guy, he's just a little weird. So I left it at that. And so one day I was in Food Line with my best friend. Food Line is a grocery store. I don't know. I know I have a lot of international like subscribers, but I was in Food Line with my best friend and I saw him and he was looking so weird, guys. Like not like when I first met Aaron, he had his hair cut like every other day. Like his hair was on point. He was so like his clothes were put together. Like he never had a day off. But when I saw him in the grocery store that day, guys, he looked so like this boy must be going through it. So a couple weeks later, I think not even a couple weeks later, maybe even a couple days later, it was a long time ago, so I can't really remember, I get a text saying like, hey, like this is Aaron basically, and I want to invite you to my probate. When I got that text, I was like, what the heck? Because Aaron never really seemed like the type to do anything like that. After this text, I was like, I guess I'll go, show support, because I really was not into stuff like that in school. Like I rarely, unless I had a reason to, you wouldn't really see me at any of those type of events like that. I see him there, like I was like in the distance in the crowd or whatever, and I think I texted him maybe like congrats or something like that. I don't know. After that, like maybe a couple weeks later, I was like, in the cafeteria by myself, just grabbing something to eat. I used to go get something to eat like all the time by myself because I just wanted to like get in and get out. Like I was not the type of person that needed a whole lot of people to go with me to go get something to eat. So I saw him in the cafe, right? He comes up to me, sit next to me, like, hey, what's up? Like talking to me, wrapping me up, and I'm just like, okay, like I can tell that something was different. Like he was the same, he had the same confidence, he was still, you know, himself, very attractive, but I can just tell like there was a different, like there was just a different feeling about him. At the time I didn't know what it was, I just knew it was different. But I was right, because the boy, listen, I don't know what happened, but he was a ladies' man. That's what it is. He was a ladies' man. If you knew like me before Aaron, you would know that I was the type of person that like I was not like into guys like that were like ladies' men. Like I wanted a guy that was very humble so that he would like, I wouldn't have to deal with none of the foolishness. Like I've never been the type to deal with the foolishness. But your boy put me through some foolishness, okay? Like crazy stuff. He was a good guy. It was just that, you know, just being in school like kind of got to his head. So let me transition to the point where we started like dating. Even though Aaron kind of was like very popular on campus, he was still an introvert, and a lot of people don't know that. Like he would be he was on the campus activities board, so he was like planning events and stuff like that. And even though he was doing all that, he was still like, he still would be the type of person that will like prefer to be at home watching a movie. Like that's just how he is, that's just how he's always been. So he started like hitting me up, like asking me like to come like hang with him and stuff like that. And like I said, we were good friends before, so I really didn't think anything like of it. One time, and this is where everything like went downhill, like went left, all right? One time he said that he was in the neighborhood where I lived on campus, and he wanted to like come over and say hello. And this was at a time in my life, guys, I went through a time in my life where I did not let men in my room because I didn't want any temptation or just anything to like go left, right? But since Aaron was my friend, I was like, oh yeah, you can come over, say hey, whatever, like if you claim you're in the neighborhood, whatever. So he comes over, we were just like joking, like we just had a really fun relationship in school. Like we were joking around, laughing, you know, having a good time. And like me and Aaron, even though we were good friends, we never like hugged before. Like we were strictly like just cool. But that day, Aaron gave me a hug, right? And at that moment, like before he left, I was like, something just felt like something is about to go down. Like something is just, and nothing happened. Like he gave me a hug and left. But the way the hug felt, like we talk about it now because he felt it too. The way the hug felt, it was so weird. I was just like, what in the world is going on? So I kind of ignored it. But after that, I felt like after that day is when we both kind of felt like, like, oh, okay. Like, you know, like there was a little bit of attraction there because we had never hugged before or thought of each other in that way before. But after that moment, we knew something was about to be the case. Because of that, and because he was in his ladies' man era, and because I was the type of woman that wasn't about to get played, we went through a lot of drama. We began to talk, we began to like be closer than we should have, if you know what I mean. It took probably about like a year of us going back and forth, of us kind of like, you know, being involved with each other. It took almost like a year for us to come to an understanding. And when I come to an understanding, I mean like come to a point where he was actually going to like commit and the foolishness was about to stop. Because like several times I had told him like, I'm not playing with you. Like you think I'm playing with you and I'm not. You're not about to play me. Like I got like a whole list of people that want me. Like it was that type of thing. And I did, honestly. I did have a lot of people that were interested in me in school, but I wanted him, you know. I just always had a soft spot in my heart for Aaron, like always. I don't know why. I tell him it's because we're soulmates. Anyway, so after the drama had stopped, we dated for 2 years. in school, probably about 2 months after we graduated, Aaron proposed to me. We got engaged at Niagara Falls. You know, I really feel like women should explain to people what they want so that they're not in a wasted relationship. But then at the same time, I think that it's important not to rush to be with someone who is not ready to be with you, because when you do that, you know, that's when you get mistreated. So, but Aaron always says he proposed to me because he wanted to propose to me, not because I was, you know, very open about my opinion. I'm gonna take some Fix Plus spray. By the time Aaron proposed to me, we had took a vow of celibacy, right? You know, it's very difficult when you were not initially celibate with someone to take that route. We got married on Juneteenth, which is a very important date for us. Literally about a month after we got married, we got pregnant with our first child. So I just put on a little bit of mascara and a little bit of this Fenty Beauty highlight in the corners of my eyes. I think I'm gonna take a little bit as well and put it on my cheeks. Wish I could sit here and pretend like it's been the hardest thing ever, because I know people say that, like, marriage is such hard work, but over here, like, it's really not. It might be because we're so young, you know, in the marriage. Like I said, it's only been 4 years, but like, it's really easy. Like, it really does not feel like it's been 4 years at all. Me and Aaron, we don't really argue because we don't have time to, you know what I'm saying? With 2 babies, like, who has time? The time that we are spending together, we're so grateful to have that. It's rare that we argue. If we argue, it's because we need more time together alone and we're like irritated. Yeah, there's not really much else to my story. I don't regret anything, even though I got married super young. Like, looking back on it, we talk a lot like, yeah, we really did the most. Like, we could have waited. We really could have. We could have waited to get married. We could have waited to have children, but we don't regret anything. So makeup is done. I think that, I don't know if I'm gonna put on lashes or not. Maybe change my shirt and of course, like, touch up my hair. So let me go ahead and do that, and I put on this little black top. It's very basic, but I like to usually, like, you know, film in black or wear black. So I actually put on just a tad of edge control for today, since I'm gonna be taking some pictures. So let me loosen up my hair a little bit. This is what that is looking like. So yeah, that's what we got going on. I think that the lesson learned and the lesson that I'm gonna teach my daughters is you have to be very specific about what you require from men. For those of you who are still dating, not married yet, even now, you know what I'm saying? You have to let people know what you are willing to put up with. Because even though I went through a lot with my husband, he knew, and I think this is the reason why he proposed so early, he knew that I was not gonna be waiting around for him. He knew that I wasn't about to be wasting my time. And he knew I had options. You have to kind of make that clear with men sometimes, you know? Even though you love them, don't force anyone to be with you, but at the same time, let them know, like, you don't have the rest of your life. I really had fun talking to you guys about this, you know, girl talk. Let me know if you guys have any questions about any of the products I use. Thank you all so much for 3,000 subscribers. I'm so grateful, so blessed to have you guys join me, and I will see you all in my next video.